This is the so not me to be read pile I have ever had. It is all of these books are no way in my reading genre. None of them. I was gonna do individual videos on all of them, and it was getting to be a bit much. So, and a couple of these, there's at least one. I think there's more than one, but I think there's at least. But comes with a warning label, and I was considering doing a separate video on books with warning labels because I found a couple, but I I have misplaced them right now. But anyways, this is the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Carias, TIN. This is where I read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy man stuff going on here. And the other day, I have not been in Second and Charles at the local bookstore. It's a discount bookstore. And by the way, my bookstore is cheaper, much, much cheaper. And I did some videos. There are some shorts floating out there, and there may be some more shorts floating out there in these individual books. But I decided to do them all together. These are so. You'll have to figure out which one of these, because there's one or two of them that I'm actually planning on reading right now. I may change my mind tomorrow, but right now I'm planning on reading these. All right, so The Valley of the Vengeful Ghosts. In the aftermath of her mother's passing, for years her mother orchestrated every detail of her life, from meals to laundry to finances, so that Eleanor could focus on her career as a therapist, left to navigate the world on her own. Eleanor clings to her mother's final directive: use her inheritance to buy a house. Desperate to obey her mother one last time, but finding a few options she can afford, Eleanor impulsively buys a model home in a valley-turned construction site, a picturesque development steeped in a shadowy history. It feels like a fresh start until the rain comes, an endless torrential downpour. Water seeps in through the house cracks. The line between what is real and what is not begins to blur. Haunted by the stories of her clients, a stream of workmen and bureaucrats she can't trust, and visions of ghosts from her past and present, Eleanor's reality unveils, and she is forced to reckon with the secrets she's buried and the dark choices she's made. The Valley of the Vengeful Ghosts. Last word to the wise. Sisters Ellie and Meg share a love of books. Their new roles as caretakers of the book chalet, their family's historic bookshop tucked away as a scenic Colorado mountain. But romance, that's another story. Ellie and Meg joke that they're in sisterly competition for worst relationships. So when their cousin signs them up for a new business endeavor, a matchmaking based on bookish taste, the sisters approach their blind double dates with a foot-dragging dread. While Ellie's date meets her low expectations, Meg's match, a book-loving romantic straight out of classic literature, charms her over a lovely dinner. The next morning, Meg is giddy with anticipation of a second date until she stood up without a word. She fumes that she should have known better. However, her date had a good reason for ghosting her. He's dead. He's been murdered, the police said. Gotta look into it. The Murder at World's End. Cornwall, 1910, a remote tidal island, the Viscount of Teeth Hall is absorbed in a feverish preparation for the apocalypse that he believes will accompany the passing of Halley's Comet. The hall must be sealed from top to bottom, every window, chimney, and keyhole closed off before night falls. But when the pompous, dishonest Viscount has failed to take into account is the danger that lies within. By morning he will be dead in his sealed study, murdered by his own ancestral crossbow. What do you think? The Serpent and the Wings of Night. Miss Broadbent. The adopted human daughter of the night-born vampire king, Aura, carved her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is entering in the Kejari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. But winning won't be easy against the most vicious warriors from all three vampire houses. To survive, Aura is forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about Rue is dangerous. He's ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown, and her greatest competition. Yet what terrifies Anya most of all is that she finds herself attracted to him. We found some romance in there someplace. Sorry. Embers of the Night. I am a weed, unloved by my abusive alcoholic dad, unwanted by my classmates, unnoticed by everyone else. But I'd suffer anything to give my kid sister a better life. The minute I turn 18, I'm getting us the hell out of here. And some hot stranger telling me I'm the key to stopping a war between heaven and hell isn't going to change things. Let the world crumble and burn for all I care. Drevin is relentless, though, and very much a liar. Every time his sexy lips move, I can see it in the dip of his head, the grit of his jaw. Even my heart begs me to ignore the signs. When I saw this in the store, it's in the fiction section, and I called it The Fake Historian because I hadn't read it yet. I had zero contact with it. So I was assuming all these different things that were incorrect, but I was assuming them. And the music was playing massively loud so you could sing along with the music and not hear me talk, which means, of course, we couldn't use it. And I don't have fancy editing. So this is The Historian. And there's a little bit, come on computer, there we go. There's a little bit of a map inside. Late one night, exploring her father's library, a young woman finds an ancient book and a cache of yellow letters. The letters are all addressed to my dear and unfortunate successor, and they plunge her into a world she never dreamed of, a labyrinth where the secrets of her father's past and her mother's mysterious fate connect to an inconceivable evil hidden in the past depths of history. The letters provide links to one of the darkest powers that humanity has ever known, and to a centuries-long quest to find the source that darkness and wipe it out. It is a quest for the truth about Vlad the Impaler. The medieval ruler whose barbarous reign formed the basis of the legend of Dracula. Generations of historians have risked their reputations, their sanity, and even their lives to learn the truth about Vlad the Impaler and Dracula. Now one woman must decide whether to take up this quest herself, to follow her father in a hunt that merely brought him to ruin years ago when he was a vibrant young scholar and her mother was still alive. What does the legend of Vlad the Impaler have to do with the modern world? It is possible that Dracula of myth truly existed, and that he has lived on century after century. I don't know. That seems like an awful lot of book. And teeny tiny print, too. Incy bincy print. Is this the one? I think this is the one. Let me just look. This comes with a warning label. It looks like a young adult book, doesn't it? It looks like a teen book. It's got this nice cover that will attract teenagers. Would you let your teenager read a book? And would you even know? Because this table that I went to was a romance table, and it was full of all these books. And it had a regular adult romance on it, and it had some young adult stuff. But it also had these other books. And I was surprised to see they had warning labels. This one's got a doozy. This one's got, it's 2 pages of warning label. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 bullet points. After a contract killer, Lachlan Kane botches a job for his boss's biggest client. He knows he'll never claw his way out of the underworld, at least not until songbird Locke Montague offers him a deal. Hunt down a killer and she'll secure his freedom. The catch, he has to marry her, and they can't stand each other. And it also talks about some uncomfortable subjects and uncomfortable things, and yeah, you'll have to decide for yourself if you will read this. Let me know in the comments if you've read this. I'd be interested to know in somebody who's read this. It would be interesting to hear your POV or your review on it. I would be interested. I pulled this out of the shelves, and when I first saw it, I said, darker by fur. And I had to look at it a second time. It says darker by 4. Rue has got one goal in mind, honing her magic to avenge her mother's death. Yuri is the black sheep of an illustrious family. The world would be at his feet had he been born with magic. Neke is a reaper serving the 4th king of hell. When his master disappears, the underworld begins to crumble, and the human world will be next if the king is not found. When an accident causes Rue power to transfer to Yen, everything turns upside down. Without her magic, Rue has no tool for vengeance. With it, Yen finally feels like he belongs. That is until Rue discovers she might hold the key to the missing death god and strikes a dangerous bargain with another king. Death by 4. Excuse me, and there's only 3, so where is the 4th? Can somebody who read that book let me know? Eternally Yours. This was another one that was on the table. Given to this irresistible paranormal romance anthology filled with tales of the mortal and the monstrous, in Eternally Yours, 15 of today's best-selling writers explore love in its many forms. A girl in a graveyard goes on an unexpected date. A shipwrecked sailor makes a connection on a forbidden island. A piano melody summons a soulmate. Creatures of folktales and legend of land and sea, of centuries past and life after life, are all wrapped into one spellbinding compendium. Let's see here. We have The Undead Ghoul Meet Cute by Kendra Blake. 1,000 More by Chloe Kong. Who Will Save Me by Julian Winters. In the Eyes of Angels, Alexis Henderson. I have never heard of any of these authors. Usually when I buy an anthology like this, it's got Laura K. Hamilton, Charlene Harris, Kim Harrison, Kelsey Kroll. None of those girls are in this. And Throne of Nightmares, KERI Masculio. But excuse my pronunciation. Sorry. Oh, purple. I like purple. Prince Sloth hates leaving his enchanted library, but when a forgotten deity threatens the very fabric of the underworld, he's thrust into a race against time. He must find the Book of Nightmares, an ancient artifact that has the power to break worlds before it unleashes a deadly name to free its master, the goddess of night. But when his path collides with a young woman who possesses the legendary Phoenix Tear, a portal stone unlike any other, a librarian who is still sweet sunshine until she burns. Laura Brimstone has always loved getting lost in a book, but she never meant literally. Yet after visiting a traveling caravan, she quickly finds herself transported to a terrifying but oddly familiar world with an icy, calculating prince at her side. And there you go. There may be a few more, but these are the ones I was able to pick up. So, and 101 uses for cat. An invisible co-host who has left me. But let me know. Do you find any of these interesting? Do you think you'd read any of these? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested to hear people's perspective on some of these books. So let me know. because these are not my world. These are not my sphere. My bookshop does not get these. We get some young adult books. And by the way, the prices in Second Charles were good. My place is the cheapest. It's not my place. It's the library's bookshop. It's the cheapest place in town. There is no place else that you can get 3 mass markets for $1. On this week, actually, it's 6 for $1 this week. But every once in a while, it's 6 for $1. Sometimes we have an overabundance and we go 10 for $1. But it's usually normally 3 for $1. And hardcovers are $3, and large paperbacks are $2. And you can go in Second and Charles or Barnes. Hey, if you got money and you can spend money and you want to support your local bookstore, go over to Barnes and spend $30 on that James Patterson, and I tell you that 6 months after it's published, it'll start trickling into the shop, and you'll be able to pick it up for $5. So, anyways, support your local bookstores. Let me know if any of these hit your sound good to you, because none of these are in my wheelhouse. None of these are in my wheelhouse. And don't forget, every night at 7:45 on the D. Louise Book Series channel, we're talking Outlander. And Friday we do Next Gen recaps or Voyager recaps. Saturday is J.D. Robb Day. And this particular day is Sunday, which is usually unboxing or ARC extravaganzas. But I'm substituting for this box today. Let me know what you think. And Flashback Monday, we started a new thing with the Romantic Time book review. And, of course, my daily book reviews. Please go check those out. And every once in a while, 101 uses for a cat. Have a good one.